Hey YouTube, it is Race Day 2011, the Diecast Kid, Flickr.com profile, Race Day 2011. And today we're doing a diecast review on Kyle Larson's sprint car. And you may notice I got this yesterday from Plan B Sales. You can pick this up at Plan B Sales or anywhere that sells R&R diecasts. This is not made by Lionel. This is made by R&R Sprint Cars. They make some really fantastic looking diecasts, and this one was no exception. I took this one out yesterday to feel the diecast, to take a look in the detailing, and I must say, you know, $15 was the retail price for this car. And I will open this thing up and review it, and let's see if it's really worth the $15 for some of you that don't normally collect sprint car diecasts. I know sprint car racing, to me, is a really good form of racing. Like, these guys, I am not kidding you. I mean, I'm probably some people who drive sprint cars are watching this video right now, and those guys have got some balls, dude. Like, for real. I mean, to drive one of these things is incredible. And this thing comes with its little card. It's got the sponsor and Kyle Larson Racing's number on, team logo on there, all that good stuff. But anyways, yeah, you know, just to drive one of these things it's a chore. And it's so fantastic to see a lot of these guys still do it these days, and it's quite a bit of a following too. I mean, I go to a lot of the local short track races, and a ton of people show up with their sprint cars. And I'm gonna try to go to a lot more local sprint car races this year and take a lot of photographs, which you can follow on my Flickr profile when things come about. But anyways, we got ourselves the Kyle Larson sprint car, the World of Outlaws car. And if not mistaken, World of Outlaws spec is a 410 engine. And that's what I believe that it is. And these guys are just really badass drivers. I can't say not much about them. I mean, to drive a sprint car, like I just said, it requires a lot of guts, a lot of talent, and a lot of willpower. Because I don't know about you, but if I ever fly out of a ballpark in a sprint car, I don't know if I'm going to want to come back in one of those things. My goodness. And I don't think the front wing or the top wing comes off. I mean, for people who collect the R&R sprint cars can tell me more about that. But I really just don't want to break this thing apart and possibly ruin it. But some things about this car: Finley Farm Special. Got Kyle Larson, Howard Johnson, Hoosier Tires. Ooh, you know I love Hoosier Tires, because I self-proclaim myself to be a Hoosier in the month of May. Meanwhile, I'm only a Hoosier for a week. Then again, on the day at Indianapolis 500, everybody's a Hoosier at heart. Everybody is. So let's see. 57, that's Kyle Larson's number. Priority Aviation Services, DMI, and Sears is on this car. And even though nobody has been in a Sears in decades, as Lois Griffin once said, they do sponsor the, actually, quote-unquote, the parent company of Craftsman sponsors the sprint car series. Got Hoosier and I can't remember that sponsor inside. I think it says for a little bit. CLT Licensing and Lucas Oil Products. And one thing I like about the sprint cars, they got the name right on top of the wing here. That is really cool. I really like it. And sprint cars, typically, I mean, I could be wrong. You know, the sprint car races I've gone to, I've seen a lot of basic paint jobs. You know, this car is literally all white. But when you have a body like this, I mean, is there really a need for a paint scheme sometimes? They just look beautiful as is. They really do. The detailing to this car, I don't know. I think there's a good amount of engine detail in just a 164. See all the piston, see all the pipes and rods. I'm not a car guy at all, so I wouldn't know jack diddly crap what the heck those things are called. But it's part of the exhaust, I believe, and it that's, you can see the engine. That's all I can tell you. But I know my friend Weston Miller is probably gonna critique every little bit of this video and be like, Rob, that's it. This is called this and that's called that. You know, he's a sprint car driver, so big shout out to him. You know, like I said, those guys just they really have it. They live a great life as race car drivers, believe me, but what they do requires a lot of talent, a lot of balls. I couldn't do it, to be honest with you. But as far as what this car is worth, personally, is it worth $15? I mean, let's face it. I'm gonna hold this up to you right here. The chassis itself, I believe, is plastic. Tires are rubber, like synthetic rubber. This part, I believe, this little bar, this thing back here, if you don't go to sprint car races, you wouldn't notice this, but I believe that this is used when the little ATV or the tractor or whatever pushes the cars out comes out, because these sprint cars require a start push. I firmly believe these things do not start by themselves. They have to be moving, I think, in order to start. So they get a vehicle behind them and they push them onto the track. And one thing I noticed about this too, I think this is common in all sprint car diecasts, but I could be wrong and this thing could be totally defected. But I think that this has a working suspension, which is supposed to have a working suspension, if not mistaken. So that is really cool. This thing kind of bounces around because, you know, these things take a lot of abuse in the shocks and the suspension and all that. So it really makes sense for it to go back and forth on the diecast. I really do like that a lot, if it's supposed to do that. So anyways, 360 view. Do I recommend it? Is it worth the $15? I would say so, because this is metal and all this is metal. I believe the whatchamajigger, we call it roll cage, or the overhead bars, or the chassis, that is, I think that's plastic. But the rest of the body, I believe, is all metal. The engine detail is metal, synthetic rubber tires. You absolutely cannot go wrong with it. And I really think that this Achoo! Sorry. Oh god, I just probably blew people's eardrums out. Brian, every time I sneeze, Brian just has he finds it funny every time I nearly have my 1 second cardiac arrest. Fun fact, you go into 1 second cardiac arrest when you sneeze. That's a fun fact I learned in high school. Probably one of the few things I remember learning in high school, because high school they don't teach you how to do taxes. They don't teach you how to apply for a car loan. They don't teach you how to pay bills properly. They don't tell you how to finance your money better. They don't get career building skills, but they'll teach you to learn the stupidest things. And who is calling me? My God, dear God. They always call me when I'm doing a diecast review. That's something that Brian does. He always does that. Come on, Brian. So comment, like, and subscribe. And this is Race Day 2011 reminding you to join the fight to stop bullying. It gets better. All the diecast kid is saying is give peace a chance.